dive right in.
Yes, good rainy morning.
Good rainy morning. Yes.
Yeah.
So typically we do this in the evening.
Afternoon.
Well,
I don't know.
5-ish. What is 5
I guess
p.m.?
5
It's
is
the
early evening.
That's
Yeah.
evening.
4 is afternoon.
Late afternoon.
5 is early evening.
The happy hour sphere.
Yeah, or just the worst hour sphere.
Right. How do you kill that hour?
It's the 4 to 6. It sucks. It's just the worst.
Well, it's for most people. You're wrapping up work, finishing work, and then it's not late enough to eat dinner, which hence is probably why a happy hour exists.
Of course.
Is like,
I think that also has a lot to do with traffic. I think a lot of people
have a commute.
You have a commute, and so instead of hitting the road right away and sitting in traffic for 2 hours, go sit somewhere and hang out with people, or get a snack and a drink, and then hit the road.
Yeah.
At a little bit later hour.
I always try to find one more thing to be productive with.
Yeah.
You know, if I can, like, okay, what's some task to kill an hour that...
The hardest thing is like it's the lowest part of the day, or at least
Just energy-wise,
for me, energy-wise.
Yeah.
I am like the biggest slug. But typically, if I can start doing something, if we go and rehearse, or if we go and run an errand, or do the pod, do something, I typically wake up. But if there's nothing happening and I really have to find something to do, it is like pulling teeth. Like I get so low.
Well, you know, I always like to say, well,
like
if you're bored, you're boring. But when you can't, when your energy is low and you can't focus and you can't think of anything, it's like, extremely frustrating.
Yeah. Completely agree.
I said to a couple of our artists yesterday who are embarking on a new project, I was like, it's a sense of relief when you finally commit to the thing.
Oh my God.
You know,
well, now it's go time.
Right. It's the indecision is where stress comes from.
Yep. Or just the waiting.
Yeah, waiting.
TP said it the best.
The waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Petty, as in TP.
Yeah, of course.
Gainesville, Florida. Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
It's a great song.
But it's not 4 o'clock right now.
No, it is.
It's 9.
Yeah.
Almost 9.
10 till 9.
What a great time.
It's great.
Probably one of my, I would say I'm like most productive between 10 and 12.
What's the
in the morning
quote? How buoyant?
How beautiful, how buoyant and glad is morning.
There you go.
Love it.
Even though it's a little dreary and rainy
Doesn't matter. It's still morning.
Still buoyant.
Yeah. But
I've become more of a morning person.
Yeah? Do you think so?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like I maximize mornings.
Were you, like, as a kid and as a teenager?
I don't recall.
You don't remember?
I feel like more nighttime, always.
Yeah.
My mom is a night owl-ish,
Yeah.
you know?
So that just sort of naturally lent itself to you being up a little bit later, wanting to be up a little bit later. Yeah. I've always been a morning person my entire life.
I believe you can change.
And I feel like...
You can change your habits.
I feel like my sisters, Celia always slept in the most. She was always sort of the last one to like crawl out of bed, was always the sleepiest in the morning, was always a little... she'd be a little grouchy in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I remember so many times. This is when we were like in the junior high and high school. Leslie and I would already be up and pretty much ready to go, and Celia would come down, and like she was always on time. Like she was never late or anything. But Leslie would already be like high energy,
of course,
high something, and Celia would just like glare at her, or just get like really annoyed with her. It was pretty funny. But yeah, I feel like my whole family is pretty morning focused. You know, my parents are not retired, but they're not doing, you know, full career jobs right now. And my dad will sleep in a fair amount. Like my mom will get up and she and I will be texting and she'll just be like, well, your dad's totally still in bed. And it's like 8:30. And I'm like, I've been up for 3.5 hours and I've already done 5,000 things.
Yeah,
and
well, your mom loves coffee talk.
Coffee talk? Oh, it's the best. It is really fun when we stay there. Really, like when you spend time with family or friends and you do spend the night with them, you get up and there's that moment in the morning where everyone's still in their pajamas, but you're awake and you have coffee, you just sit there and talk. Yeah. It's so nice. It's my favorite like socializing hour.
Yeah.
8 in the morning, sitting on the couch.
Well, I was gonna suggest, you know, we have some projects in the works and we had mentioned meeting up with a guy who's a lobbyist.
Yeah.
And I was like going to text him and be like, what mornings
coffee,
work best?
Let's go have breakfast.
Coffee talk,
completely agree, yeah. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
So that'd be really, I think we should. Because motherfucking tour is booked.
Tour is booked, so now we can move on. Now we can.
I will say.
We can emotionally
I'm still
move
waiting
on.
to hear. I need just some information from venues who told me. I mean, I know for certain one venue, like we're good to go. I just need the information from them, like price, start time, age, to put on the poster. The other venue, I've told them that I've secured the bands, and I'm like, just give me the confirmation that you received this email so that I can get that poster together, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, I think regardless of missing information, Monday we do the drop.
Fuck yeah.
Because that's with
June 1st.
With all the posters in the cities, and all the information possible.
Yeah.
And like Detroit, we know it's happening. I'm just going to put coming soon.
I am, or
stuff.
like info. TBA or something. I have my spreadsheet, which actually is a series of spreadsheets.
Which you sent me a video of the spreadsheet. It was so cute.
I sent a video to you and to my family, and I just did like a screen recording of like scrolling through all the dates, which it's 13 dates. But they're all green, exactly where I need them to be green. And then at the end, I just like yay in one of the cells, like yay. I was like, wow, I'm such a nerd, but fuck this. It feels good.
There was a lot. I mean, it was almost like...
I feel like such a wimp saying it was so much, but it sucked.
Well,
Booking that tour was not fun. Now it feels fine because I'm on the other side.
We have a phrase that we like to say, which is you got to be squeaky.
Yes.
The squeaky wheel, that's who gets the oil, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, unfortunately, this is a situation like dealing with contractors and maintenance crews and architects and the city and the zoning commission, dealing with the health department, dealing with anybody.
Yeah.
No one responds unless you fucking squeak.
Yeah.
And getting all these bands aligned. I mean, it was just a lot of back and forth messaging nonstop.
Yep.
And you had to keep checking it and checking it and checking it. And it's frustrating.
It is,
You
because
wish you
you don't want to sound frantic or annoying, but it's to the point where, and we've talked about this a million times because it is such an issue, but it's like, just respond.
Yeah.
Just say no or acknowledged or I will be right back with you or whatever. Just so I know that you have received this because, and like, I did reach out to so many bands and got no response. And those, I'm like, okay, whatever. If you're not going to respond, either one, you did not see my message because of the way it gets filtered into different, spam folders or request folders or whatever. But some of these venues, I'm like, there's only so many venues you can reach out to in a city, and it's like, you promote yourself as a live music venue, and your calendar says that you have this date free. Fucking answer me.
Yeah.
And just say, no, sorry, we're working on a show, like we're gonna update the calendar, but good luck next time or something.
Yeah.
Fine, that's what I will move on. But when everything says that you might have this date available and you're one of 7 venues I can reach out to, just respond.
Yep.
Anyway, kind of done talking about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm good. Put it to bed.
Yeah.
Now we can move on.
Knock on wood. I'm still almost funny because like I said that to my fam chat and my mom, she's so sweet. She was like, did everybody see like Wizzy's video? Like, this is such an accomplishment. And I was like, this is step 1. We still have to go on tour. We still have to get to each of these cities. Yeah. We have to make sure the van gets us there. We have to make sure that all of our gear works when we arrive.
I know.
We have to make sure we don't fucking chop half of our finger off.
Somebody cut their finger.
Like I just did.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Well, 2 things were in my favor.
Big ass callus.
So let me finish. I just really needed that extra slice of cheese the other day during lunch. And it was really close to the rind. And every fucking time I cut cheese like this, I'm like, you're gonna cut your finger. You're gonna just stop being an idiot. You don't need to get that close. There's more cheese. Like, you don't need to cut that close to the rind. But it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna throw this rind away. I might as well get the last little bit of cheese off of it. I only want one more slice. And it's this Manchego. It comes from Costco. It's so fucking good. And sure enough, and I was using a little paring knife, and my finger was just slightly in the way, and I went down a little bit harder and faster than I thought I was going to, and I felt it. It was like, dink! And I was like, oh, fuck. And there was a little bit of blood, but I have a fucking giant callus on that finger from playing music. And this paring knife is, I'm sure, it's serrated, but it's pretty dull. And what I ended up doing is basically just cutting off the callus.
Yeah. But
I did sort of graze just my the fresh skin. Right. So it was bleeding a little bit, but thankfully not a deep cut. and I think it's healing. But like exactly where I play certain things,
right.
like where I do all my little diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddles, and so I'm just sort of praying to the skin and finger gods that it grows. I've been doing everything. I've been like putting apple cider vinegar on it, and Neosporin, and putting a Band-Aid on it, and trying to make sure that I'm getting blood flow to it, and talking to it.
Obviously, you're writing today, but I would let it breathe as much as possible.
Well, you know what? I was looking at it and said, to regrow skin, though, you actually do want kind of like a moist. You don't want it to dry out too much.
Okay.
You want to keep it moist. So I think what I'm going to do today is put a Band-Aid on it just for my out and abouts, as well as my riding. And then when we go to practice tonight, I'll probably practice a little bit with the Band-Aid on, see how that works. I practiced yesterday with the Band-Aid on, and it worked. Just to give it like one more day, and then I don't know. I think it'll be fine.
I think it'll be fine.
But how did we get on that?
Talking about what we have to actually do for tour.
Yeah. Oh, not chopping your finger off and being able to play. Not chopping your finger off.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
we were already going to preemptive strike, like we're going to get some gear fixed, and we'll have backups of a lot of gear.
Oh yeah,
which I think is
bringing
really
all my
important.
guitars.
Yeah.
I mean, last night I said I was bringing 4 guitars, and you were like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "But a backup for each would be amazing." There's nothing worse than breaking a string. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
On stage, it just fucking sucks. But to be able to just grab another guitar rather than retuning the other one or having to put a string on.
Yeah,
but I know it's extremely excessive.
It's excessive, and a lot of these venues are going to be extremely tiny. We'll have no space or storage. Also, the van will have very limited space.
What if I played all of them? What if that was just our set?
That you had 4 guitars you rotated through?
Yeah.
At some point we might, but we'll have a lot more room and storage.
I know. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It won't be a wimp. And yeah, in my world, we'd just have backup of everything.
Yeah.
We'd just have a trailer with backups of everything.
Which I know, Muse, obviously, for example, they have like
any major production.
But them and like the edge. So anybody who's running a ton of tracks.
Yeah.
They have like 3 running at the same time.
Yeah, so you can immediately flip if you need to.
If one goes down, fans would not even notice.
Right.
Because multiple are running at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. Wasn't that something we heard that somebody said Taylor Swift had like multiple like auto-tune setups in place or something? I remember hearing that years ago, which I don't know. I don't think I believe anymore.
It was not true.
Because that wasn't true, because then we did hear from somebody actually in her camp who was like, no, your girl busts her ass and she sings every single night. And I'm like, yeah. But I remember hearing, so it was like right when Taylor Swift blew up, I think it was prior to 1989, but like she was on that verge of country and pop.
There was obviously the Ashley Simpson scandal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, what was that about?
She performed on SNL.
It was SNL.
And the like backing track like stopped, and she like wasn't actually singing, and
that's where if you're gonna sing anywhere, it's SNL.
Well,
so famously people have like shitty SNL performances because it's live. Didn't Lana Del Rey have a really bad one?
I think she was just really boring. I don't think she was necessarily off key. I think it was just like not good.
Well, that's impossible, but okay. I love Lana Del Rey.
Well, and I remember people going to see her here, and they were just like, just kind of boring. And I'm like,
she is the epitome of just like sultry.
Yeah.
She's just like all she does is slay.
Yeah,
and
I'm like,
that's what her music sounds like.
What do you expect?
I probably would not go to a Lana show, to be honest. I'm gonna sit at home or drive to it.
I'm gonna cry on a beach.
Lana songs don't ever make me cry.
It's very moody.
It's very moody, but absolutely love Lana. Speaking of Lana, and sort of speaking of New York, I was listening to. I've been on a podcast fucking kick. I've been all over the place. I've been listening to
your girls are in New York.
So yeah, I've been listening to like everything from like business development to just like. Obviously these sort of pop culture ones, and one of them are these girls who work at a fashion brand and or a fashion like news outlet in London, and they came to New York and they interviewed some New Yorkers, and they were just talking about a few different things that I found kind of interesting. One of them being just the spontaneity of New York City and how it just sort of invites and breeds that atmosphere. There's just, it's it's a big city, but it's so contained that there's always something to do because things are open all the time. There's so many things, but the proximity to everything being so close also, it's like you could be somewhere and then you jump to another spot super easily, or you have friends kind of everywhere. So and just so many cities aren't like that. But then they also were talking about fucking line culture, which I know you hate a line, but how now with social media, things are getting trendy, things are getting popular, and so everybody feels like they have to go and try this new thing, and the people who are willing to wait.
I had no idea what the phrase line culture meant. Waiting
That's
in line.
what I'm getting to. Yeah,
Okay.
waiting in line.
Sorry, I had no idea what you were
I was
talking
getting to.
Yeah.
But just waiting in line for things and how fucking absurd that is.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Yeah, I have no interest.
And it just made me feel like, well, that's the sheeple mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
You're told that something is good or cool, and so you race to do it, not even thinking that like this is an established business.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, obviously some things are for a short period of time or temporary, but I don't know, it just that people are willing to wait. They were saying that like the line for Katz's Deli,
right.
which how long have people been talking about Katz?
Forever.
For fucking ever, because it's been around forever. But like at the height of the day, everyone will wait in line for, hours maybe to get something.
Well, and it's funny because you can get Katz at like 2 a.m.
Well, exactly. Just have a fun random night and go super late. I've
had Katz.
But like, what else could you be doing in those 2 hours in New York City?
Yeah,
There's so many things.
So many things. There's
so many things. Or just hanging out with a friend, or being productive, or doing something other than standing in a goddamn line.
Yeah, nothing is.
And I think that
more
sort of like goes to, we always joke about lines like at concerts and things, and it's like, well, shit, no, I'd rather work a little bit harder in my regular daily life where I am supposed to be spending time working to pay for the ticket that allows me to cut the line.
Yeah, I want to have the better
so
experience.
So then I am not wasting my time in the line.
Well, what I want is, I want to be able to like show up after the line has thinned out.
Yeah.
And then go directly to my area where I have a good view.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
but you were also doing something for that hour beforehand where you would have been standing in line.
Maximizing my time always. I'm like, I have all these probably like toxic traits where I'm like, okay, every second I should be being productive or maximizing. Right.
That's the New York mindset.
Oh yeah.
That's just that they were saying. They were just like, in New York, the cliche, answer to everything is I'm just so busy.
Yeah.
I'm so busy.
But
it is a place where, people are there for a purpose.
Well, and like you said, there is something at all times. I remember, last time I was working in the city, it was like, okay, well, Matt, what are you doing after this? Because there's a rockabilly barber pop up at a new bar that's opening, and then you're just being invited to things that are just but also that's happening here.
It is. It absolutely is. But I think in New York it's happening all the time, everywhere kind of mindset. But anyway, it was just kind of fun. I love it. When they brought out the line culture, I was like, oh, this will strike a chord.
Oh, for sure. It's just like I have not heard people call it line culture, but that's absolutely true.
I do think that maybe that's new.
Yeah.
And that is this idea that something trendy is happening, and so people are willing to give up their time.
Well, you see it.
Fucking line.
I mean, we watch a ton of food videos.
Yeah.
And almost every food video, are people. A lot of food videos are people like, hey, we're at this new viral blank.
Right.
And they have to wait in a line.
Right. I was very proud of us because twice now, and these are both people, it was on this podcast, but also somebody that I follow that I respect sort of their opinion on New York things, mentioned Frenchette. Which was a restaurant that we just very much stumbled
into,
got a random table, had a lovely meal.
I've recommended it, yeah.
And they were all like, it's sort of, I mean, I think now a lot of people do know about it, but it's not horribly trendy. It's very neighborhood feel. But everyone was like, fuck yeah, Frenchette. And I was like, no one told us about it. We just found it on our own. Yeah. I was like, okay, I trust my judgment a little more than maybe I
very much
thought I should.
I had a good experience. Not even the food, which was very good, but the service was just great.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoyed about it.
I I will take service over food any day.
Well, I want the food to be good.
I want the food to be
clearly.
good, but normally if I'm out to eat, I'm just hungry.
Well,
and so I'll just eat.
It's 100%.
I would put service over food any day.
Well, it's what I tell all tattooers, is
Yeah.
where I'm like, the customer experience
Yep.
has more value than the actual tattoo.
Yep, exactly.
And if people who are coming to you, unless it's their first tattoo, they've had another tattoo experience.
Yeah.
And it's almost always lackluster because
Right.
you show up at a tattoo shop, in a traditional tattoo shop setting, the artist is like, what did you want again? Or
Right.
they're not even there when you arrive.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this last night, and I'm like, so immediately that person is like, well, they don't really
They
care.
don't care. Yeah.
You know, and that tattoo is very special and important to them. But point of the story is, if you make them feel heard and understood,
Yeah.
if you acknowledge, if they walk in and you're like, oh my God, I love Star Wars too, or whatever the fuck thing is that they want,
yeah.
then all of a sudden you have a customer forever. You have someone who's going to be like, oh, well, Matt really cares. You know?
Yeah, and unless you just like royally fuck up a tattoo, or,
Right.
or are not
You
a
could
good
you
artist,
could do a mediocre job,
yeah.
and if their experience is top notch, then they will absolutely recommend you.
Yep.
Your business will grow.
Yep.
Which is crazy, and that's across the board.
Yeah.
Like almost, if you're in a service industry,
Yeah.
it's the experience, how you make them feel is just as
Totally agree.
important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. We actually kind of had a weekend.
Well, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Talking about that, there's like things happening in the city.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot of events
Yeah.
and stumbled onto big events and small events
Yeah.
and interesting.
Well, it was just like maybe my ideal way of having a weekend, because weekends really have not meant anything
I still work the
to
whole time.
us. Yeah. But I kind of loved Friday night. We did not have plans. Our plan was to just play a little music. We just
Yeah.
wanted to rehearse, wanted to spend some time at the practice space, but we got a pizza.
Yeah.
It was like my version of a pizza and jam night, but it was like really nice pizza.
Right. It was all like, yeah, fine.
And rehearsing songs that I knew how to play, and it was really fun though.
It was really
just
fun.
like, it was nice to have something to do that felt kind of like Friday nighty, but wasn't that much effort. And then Saturday really, met up with people, checked out a tiki bar.
Well, there's a new tiki bar downtown. It was their opening weekend,
know,
so we
so
went
cool.
to that.
Yeah.
Then we went.
The funniest thing was though, I think because we don't do shit like that very often, we walked in and surprise, it was packed.
Well, right.
I feel like I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, we'll just go in and we'll get seats at the bar, or maybe we'll get a little table and it'll be perfect. It was like shoulder to shoulder.
It was, but we still managed to get drinks.
Totally, and it was really fun.
And yeah, they were doing a good job. Highly recommend Huli Huli if you're in the Columbus area. Very cool.
Well, I just love that it's this tiki restaurant that's been around forever up in Powell, which is one of the northernmost suburbs of Columbus, and we know so many people who have
They talk about
gone, but
rave.
it's a fucking 25-minute drive.
Yeah.
And we've always thought about going, but never have. And now we don't have to because
Yeah,
they
it's
brought
right
one
here.
to us. Walkable.
And they did a great job with the decor. They went hard.
I did hear that, compared to the one in Powell, they really went hard.
I think Tiki Maxing is what I like.
Tiki Max, yeah. And then found a new bar.
Well, that's what I was going to say is then, the Columbus Museum of Art
yeah.
has the Pizzuti Gallery.
Which I mean, don't completely quote me, but I think it's just the Pizzuti family's private collection.
It's not.
It's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
So it used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now that the museum curates it, like
okay.
the bar we went to was technically an art installation.
Right. I wasn't sure if yes, they have rotating exhibits, but the rest of the artwork is just the
You may
Pizzutis.
be correct.
Maybe we're both right.
We might both be right.
That'd be cool.
But I think that now that the Columbus Museum of Art has taken it over.
That's cool. So now they have these exhibits coming in.
Yeah.
And the one right now is an artist who specifically sets up
Environments. I guess.
scenes,
Yeah.
environments. There was one that, the museum was closed by the time we were there. So, but we could look in and it looked like a barbershop.
Right.
Or a hair salon.
I think
or
it's a
something.
barbershop
Yeah.
experience.
But they have a bar experience.
They just call it bar room.
Bar room.
Yeah.
And so you walk in and it technically is an exhibit, an installation, but with a full bar, full
Pool
kitchen,
table,
pool table,
darts.
yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of a dive bar.
But I think it was maybe just going to be temporarily open while this exhibit was happening, but there's been such great response. So they're like, "Fuck it, this is the permanent thing." So
Let it
now
roll.
it's just a
Yeah,
cool,
let it ride.
and it costs $10 to get in, but that goes straight to the museum, and I don't know. It was a pretty cool thing. It was just like not anything I'd fucking done in
But
Columbus.
I think, on a Saturday night, we went to like the grand opening of a new bar, and then we went to like an interesting urban art space that is art installation that is representing a dive bar. I mean, those are like things that
With some amazingly, some I don't even want to call it shitty, but just like basic Mexican food in between.
Oh yeah,
but it's great.
Yeah, I just
great.
think that's like, well, that sounds like something you do in a city.
Yeah. And then Sunday was the
Strawberry Fest.
worked, but then went to the Strawberry Festival.
Strawberry Jam.
Is that what they call it?
I think they call it Strawberry Jam.
Yeah, but it was pouring down rain.
It was, but it was still packed.
It was still packed.
That's what I was blown away by. I
know.
was like, I can't believe that thousands of people are out here,
Yeah,
in
I
the
didn't
rain.
get anything strawberry.
I tried the strawberry barbecue sauce.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. I mean, we really went because it's at the bar that shows the F1 races,
races.
and so we were there to watch the race. But yeah, it was just like overall a good day. I feel like maybe when we got home, or like maybe it was Monday morning, we both were kind of like, that was just refreshingly nice. It was fun to be out, fun to do. And that day, I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about how fun but also important it is to go out with your spouse, with your partner, whomever, because especially when you're socializing with other people, you get to see them in a slightly different light. And if you like who the person is, that when they're out in public, it can just be a nice, you get so comfortable with your spouse that you don't see them and that, or you're just you're at home, and so you're acting just the way you do at home. So to see them out in public interacting with other people, you see that side of them, whether it's different or not.
Right.
But oftentimes it's just like a little like a what's what I'm looking for, like enhanced version of them. And so I think you and I had a little bit of that when we got back.
We
like,
sort of,
that was kind of fun.
fun.
And I mean, something we've said to each other since we first met, which I'm so fucking grateful for, is that we never have to worry about each other in social situations.
So I was just going to interject and be like, well, you can work a room. And that's like one of the best assets.
It's just so nice to know that when we go out somewhere, if there's a big group of people and we get separated,
I'm not worried.
I'm never worried about who you're talking to, what you're doing, are you okay? I'm like, oh, he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And I think you feel similarly about me. And then when I want to go home, I come up and I say, let's go home.
Yeah, which is good.
Because you often, well, you know what, actually, you've gotten so much better about getting to the point where you're like, it's time to go. And I'm okay.
I would counter with, you're the one who does the Midwest goodbyes.
I'm a Midwest goodbyer, that's
which is
for
your
sure.
whole family.
Yeah.
So intensely, where it's like, okay, well, 30 minutes ago we said we were leaving, and you're still goodbying. This is crazy. Yeah.
I mean, well, when you love the people you're with,
I know.
you don't want to
No,
leave
it's
them.
not. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just a funny thing every time.
I feel like I do that more so with family than friends
absolutely,
or anything. With friends, with friends, we tend to Irish goodbye.
Oh yeah, I love
or
to
just in social situations, we're like, hey, bye.
Yeah, I love to just disappear.
Absolutely.
Come to the event, say hi to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we did that at a wedding recently, and now granted, I think the bride and groom were like to the point where they weren't paying attention who was still there or not.
Well, we just saw the bride and groom.
But we did just see them,
Yeah.
so it was great because I felt
Obviously,
a little badly.
they didn't feel bad about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt a little badly not really saying goodbye before we left, but then we saw them this past weekend and didn't mention it, but it was also like, well, cool, we can actually.
I think they had
catch
enough
up.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
A thing I always like to remind people is, no one's thinking about you.
No.
People are always thinking about themselves.
Of course.
That's like human nature. It's probably, we've evolved to be that,
Yeah.
It's safe. You have safety in worrying about yourself and your presence and how you're perceived.
Right.
But other people aren't wasting their time thinking about you.
No, I feel like too, even if you see somebody and you judge them on their appearance or their actions or whatever, that is at surface level, sort of in the moment observation, but then it immediately makes you think about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
how am I
Comes back.
appearing? How am I acting? So even when you are judging somebody, you always bring it back to
Oh, yeah.
yourself. So, whatever. So one, Be yourself.
Yes.
2, be good.
Be good.
Just be good.
I say it all the time. Yeah. Be kind.
Well,
give people grace.
It's nice to be nice to the nice.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Do you remember, I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, being a kid and there being things that either were like popular or that like other kids had or were doing that you were envious of, but for whatever reason you couldn't do it, or my examples are, I remember always wanting to wear one sneaker, like tennis shoes. My parents always bought us the tennis shoes. Like I remember there were tennis shoes that, and I don't know, maybe Adidas or Nike or something, that like the tip of the toe kind of popped up a little bit, and they were like the really cool, like very athletic ones. And we always had like the New Balances that were like more rounded.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And we always had tall socks instead of ankle socks. And I always wanted the pointy tennis shoes with ankle socks. And I always had the rounded tennis shoes with high socks. And then I could never put my hair in a high ponytail.
Right, you've told me this before.
I always had to have the low
that.
pony. And I don't know if my mom just like never would put it in a high, I'm sure she could have, but like I always had like the low, like, Victorian child ponytail. And I was always so embarrassed because the cool girls were wearing the high ponies, the pointy tennis shoes, and the ankle socks. Yeah. Before it was like something, I was too young to make my own decisions on these things. And I think if I had asked my parents, they would have been like, okay, fine. But for whatever reason, I didn't. So I always felt off.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything that
the thing that comes to mind is my brother brings it up way too often. There was a kid in town named Aaron. I won't say his last name for any reason, but he had the full like Power Ranger like Megatron thing you connect together to make the big robot. It was a very expensive toy, and we would have sleepovers and he would take it all out and like put it all together and show it, but you weren't allowed to touch it or play with it.
Oh God.
And so James loves to bring this up all the time. He's like, fucking remember that toy? And I'm like,
oh, that's hilarious.
Like, I barely do, sir.
I remember it now because you brought it up so many times.
You keep bringing it up, so obviously it has affected you, man.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. We didn't have much. We had enough.
Yeah.
I know like other kids, it's funny because other kids in the trailer park got really obsessed with with the K-Swiss shoes.
Yeah.
And blonde tips and hair gel and colognes.
Yeah,
I remember people like going through these trends and things that were really popular, but I was always such a contrarian.
So you just didn't even want to do that stuff.
So I was like spiking my hair and wearing spiked belts and but I also thrifted almost everything.
Really?
We were obsessed with going to thrift stores. So I was wearing like grandpa pants and like hilarious shit. Like, I was very anti the establishment, I guess, the whole time.
I did not get into thrifting until I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm a terrible thrifter. I don't have the eye.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit better now, mainly because I'm not so much thrifting as just buying secondhand.
It might be fun to look, for me, for some tour shirts to pop the sleeves off of.
Yeah.
If I could find some like classic rock or hip hop shirts or something.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be super fun. Yeah. Get a theme going.
Well, I like now to wear band shirts, sort of.
Yeah.
Which a lot of band dudes do that, of course,
But not the band T-shirt at the concert.
No. But I think it's funny when artists wear their own band's merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, you ran out of clothes, so you just grabbed something out of the merch bin.
Yeah, totally. Or I think it's really fun to buy a band you're playing with.
Oh, absolutely. I hear it.
Should we stop?
I don't know. I don't know how much it'll pick it up. So there's construction outside right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should pause it.
Okay. Well, we're going to pause.
Yeah.
All right, we're picking right back up
All
where
right,
we left
we're
off.
back.
What's going to be really funny is I was just thinking, I was in the bathroom and I was like, it's going to look so jarring if someone's watching, because immediately after we stopped, well, then I went and got a haircut.
Oh, yeah.
So not only am I in a different outfit my hair looks different. Like,
Well,
you
yeah.
would assume it's a different day.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, is it going to be, that meme where it's just two photos of like a little school-aged girl. I think she's over in England, and it's like, maybe it's the first day of school.
Oh,
but it's
and
like
she
the
comes
picture,
back
and she's in
and-
her cute little uniform,
Yeah,
and everything's
yeah.
her, and then she
Like,
comes back and she's like a hot mess. I was
what
like,
happened?
Is that what I'm gonna look like today?
Well, I mean, I'm a little sweaty right now. We
Yeah.
just practiced.
I'm mind-blowingly gross right now.
So there's going to be a weird edit.
That's fine.
That's just interesting.
Yeah.
Right now, there's tons of construction on our street.
Yeah.
We tried to record a nice podcast this morning.
Yep.
And it was raining.
So there was no construction.
There was no construction, but then
It got
30
nice.
minutes in, it got nice, and all of a sudden they're sawing concrete
Yeah,
outside
I
of
was
our
like,
window.
this won't work. This won't work. So whatever, we're picking it back up now.
Yeah.
I see we both chose our medications of choice.
Well, yeah.
I'm
Mine's
drinking an emergency.
I'm drinking some whiskey.
You're drinking some whiskey.
The thing to like put me in the right mindset for sure.
Oh my God. Anyway, well, all right. How was your day?
Well, now,
Since we
yeah.
last
How
spoke.
was my day? It was a good day. Yeah, longtime client. We're working on a new sleeve, so just started
cool.
a whole new project on him. He already has a sleeve in his entire back and like butt and leg.
Yeah,
And he's like, well, I got this other arm. Let's go.
it's awesome.
But I did. So the reason I asked you if it's 18 and up
Oh yeah.
is because
show on Friday.
his son came with him, who graduates
Yeah.
high school this week, and he was like, "You should come to the show. He's 18."
Cool.
And I was like, "Yeah, dude, bring your girlfriend, and I'll just be like, go Kyle, you're so cool. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
I'll hype you
yeah.
up."
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "All right, yeah."
Cool.
So,
Yeah, they should definitely
Hopefully
come.
they come out.
That'd be
That'll be
really fun.
I think it's gonna be a good show.
I think so too. We just practiced. I practiced with my Band-Aid on,
And
and so far so good. I think
tomorrow we'll try without the Band-Aid.
maybe, or I might just honestly wait until the show and then tear my finger apart, and who fucking cares, because then we're not going to play again for a month.
Yeah,
What?
whatever you think is right.
Well, all I want to do is give it time to heal
Totally.
as much as
Totally.
possible. The last thing I want to do is accidentally fuck it up tomorrow and then it really suck. Like,
Yeah.
I could fuck it up halfway through the set on Friday and muster through
Yeah.
and be completely fine. I could also fuck it up halfway through the set tomorrow.
Right.
And then the whole set on Friday
No,
is
you're
going to
right.
suck. So, I was able to play it. I could definitely get by with the Band-Aid on.
Yeah.
So
I thought it sounded
I'm
fine.
just gonna do that. I might put a little super glue on it for Friday and just give it a tiny little barrier. Just
I
to
don't want
like.
it to feel too foreign.
Oh my God, Matt. Well, it's my finger.
All right.
I'm gonna do what I want with it.
Yeah.
You know what feels foreign?
A Band-Aid?
A Band-Aid.
Yeah, I know. It's always good to practice, like how you'll perform.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put my boots on.
Which is great. I love you just told me moments ago you love having boots at the practice space.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to ride some ponies today.
Yeah, that was Pony
It was really
Town.
good. Had a very good lesson. I got to ride with Lucy, which was fun. She's preparing for a show this weekend. So she and I were doing a fun course together, working on some jumper moves, some rollbacks, and some bended lines and stuff. And Pango was good. Pango's a hunter.
Yeah.
So, but he's a kind of malleable horse. You can kind of get him to do whatever you want. But he's a really nice jumper, just in the way his body moves over the jump, or at least feels like it. He really kind of picks his legs up. I mean, I've been on so many horses that just kind of lug themselves
Right.
over. And it's really nice when a horse jumps up and like their knees come up. Actually, Courtney, my trainer today, was at a show last week, and the past couple weeks have been so rainy.
Right.
And the thing with horse shows, especially at places, just a little bit nicer places, they have this footing that we've talked about called the GGT.
Yep.
And so it's not just dirt. So oftentimes you can ride in pretty significant rain and it's fine. The only time they really cancel is for lightning and thunder. So it can be absolutely downpouring,
Right.
and the footing's actually still pretty much okay. And so she was riding a horse. She does a lot of like, she's a professional, and so a lot of people will pay her to ride their horses, especially earlier in the week, like during some of the more like schooling classes, just get them kind of whipped into shape before the rider then gets on. And doesn't mean that the rider doesn't have to fucking ride.
Right.
But it gets the horse in the mindset, especially,
Acclimated. It's a new
they're-
course. It's a new location.
It's a new, exactly. They're, away from home. There's new sites, there's new things. So it's like, get the pro on to whip him into shape, and then the rider gets on. So she was on a horse that she's now been riding for, I don't know, 8 months or something, but had never ridden him in severe weather. And so really wasn't sure how he was going to react. And this horse, Arlie, and they went around a course and he was jumping so high. Like he didn't want his feet to touch the ground. And I remember like, some horses hate mud.
Yeah.
Richie fucking hates mud.
Yeah.
There would be so many times I'd go out into the, the paddocks to bring him in, and they can be turned out when and there's little mud puddles and stuff. You don't want to turn him out in like a completely muddy, gross, whatever. He would walk over. He would like
all the way around.
He would actively move around the puddle and like kind of shut like ew, gross, like puddles. So, but Courtney was showing me these pictures, and this horse Arlie. I mean, his knees are to his fucking ears.
As high as possible.
She's like, you can see where the jump is, and he is, I don't know, 1.5 feet over it.
Well, now you know he can jump way higher.
Now you know he can jump really high.
Very accurate. It was so far it's the 4th wettest May ever.
Yeah.
We're on record here in Ohio.
Wow.
And most of that has been in the last 10 days.
Did they say over, how frequently is it this wet? So like the other 3,
I have no
were
idea
they
if they were
decades
like more
ago?
recent.
Was it 100 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this stuff, they started recording probably
Late 1800s.
late 1800s. Yeah.
Some of it does go back to like 1890s.
Yeah. So.
But real fucking wet.
Is it like a quarter century thing, or
Yeah.
like every 35 years you get something like this? Like there actually is a pattern to it.
There definitely has got to be a pattern.
I feel like there has to be.
That's why the almanacs are fairly consistent. They can predict. But also like sometimes, you'll see that the hottest is like 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then it won't happen for another 10 years or something, but they'll be back to back or something, like just cycles.
It's just funny because it gives people then 2 years to, get all
like acclimated or adjusted.
No, I was gonna say to just like talk to just be like, oh, it's happening, everything's changing.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, people love. It's so funny because we've evolved to be so intensely pattern forming. We've talked about this before, but it's like we try to create them even when they don't exist. Like we try to find patterns in everything. We can't resist doing it, and so that's why. I mean, the whole climate change thing has just like spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, when I was a kid, the ozone layer.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that because I've just been thinking about the ozone layer. I was like, why does no one talk about the ozone layer anymore?
Because it closed up.
Because it closed up.
Yeah.
Was it even actually open?
It was, and it does get thin.
It feels thin right now. The goddamn sun is hot.
But it's only over like the South Pole.
Yeah.
And that's where the hole is, and it will get thin and opens part of the year and then closes. But it's like everyone was concerned about its growth, and that was open all the time.
Exactly.
And that the carbon emissions were doing this, and now it's like that's just done. But it's the same thing with the bees, where it's like what we don't do, what we do such a poor job about
coming back around
is acknowledging when something's getting better.
Yeah.
You talk about like a lot of reefs, in the ocean, and it's like, well, we thought they were gone forever.
And then we found the largest one barely off the coast of
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And it's like, wait, so things are coming back.
Better than ever.
Better than ever in different ways, but it's like, we're not talking about it or acknowledging it.
Why do you think?
Because doom and gloom.
I know, but why?
Sells.
Why?
We're fascinated with it.
Why?
All other than Joe Rogan, all the popular podcasts are murder podcasts.
I know.
Our obsession is about the macabre and the dark and death, and maybe because all of us have to experience death. I'm uncertain, but there's definitely an intense fascination, and controversy and drama sells.
Right. But is that just because we have so little of it anymore? It's like we're still slightly too naturally inclined to believe that we're going to experience it, that we are.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of pop culture in general. I'm like, for every drama that's nominated for Best Picture, and it's probably a 10-to-1 ratio that one is the feel-good story.
Yeah.
The Blind Side or whatever, or something where it's about a
Right.
coming up in a positive story. You
Yeah.
have like drama, comedy,
Yeah.
or something, and it's so we still like it. That's why you watch the nightly news. The entire hour is drama, and then they end with
There's good news
tonight.
tonight.
And then with one, you get one positive story. You get
Yeah.
one feel-good story for all of
But
it.
why do you think the bad news is what people are drawn to? That's what sells. That's what people.
Why do we only look at bad reviews?
I know.
If you're on Amazon, I don't know the psychology
Yeah.
here. I'm sure someone's yelling right now at their computer, like, "Well, it's because of this." Or,
Yeah.
This is why. But
I wonder if it's because.
I know that our fascination, like certain things in art history, and like our fascination with skulls and skeletons, and paintings of death and paintings of war, all of that, we hypothesize that it's about mortality. Same thing with like sex and everything. Why do we imprint these things? These are like absolute truths of humanity. Where maybe goodness and prospering and kindness are not an absolute truth, but death is.
Yeah.
You may never have happiness, but you're definitely going to die.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I would love to look at the psychology of it because I'm like, are negative things, does that make you, is that sort of does it make you want to work harder to avoid those things? And that's sort of just like a natural
So they
instinct.
say that the reason that murder podcasts appeal to women more is because you're sort of preemptively prepping yourself for safety.
Yeah.
Preparing for hypothetical situations. So why, My Favorite Murder, like the huge audience for a lot of like murder stuff is female.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And so,
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Is that because you're more likely to be a victim
But
of
even not just
violent
even
crime?
These murder podcasts or anything, just like bad news in general.
Well, obviously, we've learned that gets more clicks.
I know. I want to know why.
I know. I don't know why. I'm just giving you exampple. Like these are over and over. It's been proven.
I need the answer. Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll loop back around.
We'll loop back around on that guy. Do you think you're superstitious?
I like routine and repetition, and if I don't do things in specific orders, then I feel off.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that superstition?
No, I don't think so.
Because a lot of superstition is like, oh, the salt fell over, I got to throw this over my shoulder. It's like, if I don't, that's bad luck. If I break a mirror, like, I got to like spin around 3 times or what. There's always.
Yeah, but that's not part of your routine.
No, but those are things that if something happens, then you have to do this or else you feel off or negative, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I have a lot of things like that where
Yeah.
if something happens and it throws me off, then I feel like I got to like almost start over again or something.
Okay.
Not superstitious, but the way that superstitions work in culture.
That's basically what they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I always am immediately in the situation, and then I force my brain to say, that's fucking stupid, you'll be fine. For example, when we were getting our guitars out today, my pin, I have a little panther pin on one of my guitar straps. It's on the Firebird strap, and I've had it on there for years now.
I bought it for you, right?
You bought it for me. And I've never thought of it necessarily as a good luck charm, but it's always been there. And obviously I've had times where it wasn't lucky or unlucky, but it fell off.
Yeah.
And my immediate thought was, it's going to be a fucking terrible show.
Is that, so a superstition, like that's like a sign.
Yeah, okay, so maybe,
like
maybe
what?
I'm more, that's probably what I'm more am.
I don't know what that means. Like,
I'm more sign seeking.
like so many, another thing where we assume we see patterns where they're not, like tons of people, when a loved one passes away.
No, yeah, you see a cardinal.
You see a cardinal or a butterfly or a hummingbird or whatever it is, but that represents that to you, and you find solace in that. It brings peace, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing, and you feel good about it, even though it probably has nothing to do with.
But whatever, it's all in your mind anyway.
It's all in your mind
so
anyway.
let it do what it wants in your mind.
So let it be. Well, I love placebo. I'm a big fan of actually the placebo effect. I cannot sing the praises enough. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. But some people do just, probably the same people who anthropomorphize.
I wonder who does that.
I'm not calling out anyone in particular, but probably the same demographic of person is like, oh, this pin fell off of this thing. That means it's a sign. It's a fucking sign. Everything's a fucking sign. But I joke about it too, like, because I love the idea, like, as you break a glass, and you're like,
oh, there we go.
Oh, no.
There it is. That's a sign. Yeah, I will say that's probably way more what I was actually asking, and I bet I'm.
Are you looking for like symbolism?
I'm very aware of, quote unquote signs, but somewhat recently I've started saying, you control this.
Yeah.
It's the sign of whatever the fuck you want it to be. It's a good luck sign.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh no, I find Friday the 13th lucky.
Yeah.
I find a black cat walking across the street lucky. Fuck it. That's what I'm gonna believe. And usually you allow your mind to then change it to that. But yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm always looking for opportunity. And so anytime something happens, instead of ever thinking it a negative sign, I'm always like,
oh my God,
it's a sign to go.
My new favorite thing.
Oh, the three.
The three.
Yeah, tell me about
what is it? Who was it? Was it like
it was
Charlie Munger or no?
Was it Buffett?
Maybe it was Buffett.
I think it was Warren Buffett.
Was it just Warren Buffett?
Yeah,
not just Warren Buffett. I just saw an Instagram thing, and the gist of it was he was saying anytime you're presented with a negative or a problem, but more so just like a negative thing,
you get a flat tire.
Immediately think to yourself, but what are 3 positives in this situation? So take a flat tire. What's a positive? Well, I have a car. I have a job that allows me to pay for this car and ultimately what just happened to it. Oh, and I have AAA.
Yeah.
And they're going to come and they're going to save me.
Yeah. And
3 positives to
instead
just
of it being only
round
negative.
it. Only focusing on the one negative thing. What are 3 positives? And like, it's not going to get you out of the situation, but it's going to completely shift your mindset to being more positively focused than negatively focused. And I've already done it like 3 times today, just out of my own desire to exercise it. And it's been really fun.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
It's so good. You don't even have to say 3 things. It's just if you can frame it.
I kind of like the 3
I do
though.
too. I do too. It's like counting
that.
to 10 or
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan. The shit I always talk about where it's like, how do I frame this as an opportunity instead?
Exactly.
And it's that's what you're saying, right? It's like, here's an opportunity for me to be like, what am I actually like appreciate about this moment?
Right.
And sometimes, a lot of times, like when, just to bring up a loved one passing away again.
I was just about to as well. That's so weird.
But you so a loved one's passing is such a great opportunity to think about the good things.
The good things. Look at this family that I have that I'm now getting to be together with.
We're together, the moments that I had, the gifts that they've given me, but I mean that in like a emotional and spiritual way.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, whoa, like this person impacted all of these people and had did all of these things in their life. So like, where are those moments that you can get excited about?
Yeah. I love it. I'm like so excited to take it into my everyday.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And like I said, I do really like the 3 because I think it's very easy to come up with one thing. I think it's pretty easy to come up with 2 things. And the few times I did it today, I will say I actually had to think for the 3rd one to make it feel legitimate.
Which there's probably, by it being 3 items, and it takes a little effort to get to the 3rd one in the moment.
Well, now you're out of the moment of
you've defused the situation.
You've
de-escalated.
Exactly.
Yeah, your emotions are running hot.
Yep. You've taken the breaths essentially.
Yeah.
You've stopped yourself.
I'm gonna try and like all of the artists that we have are complaining about no call, no shows getting canceled on. So I think here's a big opportunity to sort of like me say this shit to them, to be like, hey guys, like, look at the space you're in, look at the career that you have, Look at the clients you do have.
Well,
Look at the cool work you've done.
It all comes from you.
Yeah. Well,
Your
that's the
life is
Stoic.
negative when you're negative.
That's the Epictetus shit right
Yeah.
there. You know, it's like you can be, what's his name? The guy, the naval officer who was like 7 years in Vietnam where he was a prisoner of war. And he like led all of his men like while they were prisoners of war. But he's the one who's in The Obstacle is the Way.
Oh, I don't
that they
remember.
talk about over
yeah,
and
I don't
over.
remember the name though. I have no idea.
But the whole thing where like he never once felt like he was a victim or he was the prisoner.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all a mindset.
It's interesting that Stoicism isn't a major part of educational curriculum. That like teaching kids how to think in that way as an individual.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays when everyone's so highly concerned with mental health. It's like that is the crux of it. That is the absolute point at which you change all of this.
Well, I think like a lot of things, psychology goes through trends, you know, just like medicine, all medicine in general, just like art, just like fashion. And it's like, well, I think we just went through a big phase of sort of like, not even like supporting or praising victimhood, but sort of like, I think a lot of people
kind of hyper acknowledging it.
Well,
almost.
we sort of overcorrected, which was like, we did not want to talk about mental health or depression, you know, especially in correlation with masculinity.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know, so it was like, well, then it sort of took high-level people in professional sports or actors or whatever to come out and be like, I struggle with these things, you know. And then you also had like a rash of, for some reason, so much I've talked about Chris Cornell and Bourdain recently and the suicides. And it's like, okay, well now it flipped to like, okay, well, everyone suddenly is acknowledging sort of this like their own emotional struggles, but then it got so far where they were becoming victims, you know, instead and instead of everybody being like, okay, these things have happened to me and I can decide what to do now, that I can take control of this, and it can be something that either breaks me or it can be the thing that motivates me. Yeah. You know, and there's been less and less conversation around like it being a place of power and strength. Right. And instead, we sort of gave equity and currency to how much more of a victim can you be.
Just add on.
And then you want to like plus victim, and how much more victimized can I be? Yeah. Instead of, that's not what defines me. It became the only thing that does define you. Yeah. So now your victimhood is what defines you instead of you defining yourself. You know? Now I think there's a snapback. I think the conversation has shifted.
Probably because it's been long enough now that people realize they don't feel good. That, you know, their lives are not.
I think you have to, acknowledge. And we should all, the big thing is everybody should be comfortable, way more comfortable at everything. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Everybody struggles. I think it should not be a contest of everybody hurts sometimes. Is that REM?
That's REM.
But like you know, it would be easy for me a lot of times to be like, well, my shit was probably harder than your shit. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But what is the value in that?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Especially now, you completely away from whatever the shit was.
You know, so like I'm not gonna like use that for my identity. Yeah. You know? And I think sort of encouraging people to be like, no, I'm gonna define myself, right? You know, and we're both in a business of self-actualization and making people feel good and look how they want to look, you know, and take control over their identity. But I'm optimistic that we're in a phase where people are going to be less of a bummer. I'm like very bullish on the next few years.
I think so too. And it's also just like, I feel like anytime I talk to somebody and there's a negative slant to the conversation or something, my instinct now, and then I would say this is probably in the past couple years, is to just push back with ultra positivity.
Absolutely.
Not ingenuine by any means, but whereas before I would probably kind of bring myself down to that level. I'm so sorry. Oh, this, oh, that. Let's lament together. Now I'm like, but what about this? This is great.
Yeah.
This is cool. What about that? Let's do that. Blah, blah, blah. Like shifting it to just that more positive mindset. That's now my natural instinct.
I think
reaction.
If you can be the person who lets them know the 3 things that are positive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
someone comes in.
You can also share it with somebody.
Someone comes in and they're lamenting about this thing that's happening, and you remind them, like, hey, dude, like,
you have a job.
You have a job. Your girlfriend's hot.
I was gonna say you're hot.
Like you're in good shape.
Yeah.
Like you don't have cancer right now, buddy.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. And you're like, you're here talking to me. Here's some positive fucking moments. Like, just remind people. And I know that a lot of times when people are upset, they just want to vent too.
Totally.
So finding that balance, it's like, that's always the joke with girlfriends and wives, right?
What?
Well, it's maybe because my algorithm just shows me guy content all the time. But it's like, don't try and fix the problem.
Oh yeah, just listen.
Yeah, just listen. Just fucking listen. You know? But I what I'm saying is, don't try and fix it. Just be like, yo,
do sounding board.
Your house is cool, or your band you're in is great, or whatever you're working on, or this project is interesting, or your daughter is beautiful, or I don't know.
It's almost
reminding people of the
well,
things.
and it's almost like it's not quite the kill them with kindness, but it's just like annoy them with positivity to the point where you just can't even deny it.
I just like it's so hard because you and I have gone down this stoicism route now, and it's sort of become more and more our identity and sort of our mindset that it's, of course we get down. We're humans.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm pretty much positive all the time. Like even when I'm sad, I'm still positive.
Yeah. You're unique. I mean, you're not. But I will say, like, you're definitely steady.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not just you being numb.
Right.
I know that actually that takes a lot of work to maintain that steadiness.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I know you very, very well, and I know that you do care about things, and you do have a lot of emotions toward things, but in moments where, emotions could be heightened in one direction or the other, you're really able to kind of balance it out. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better. And I will tell you, I always feel better when I'm able to regulate it more quickly. Everybody does.
I think it's everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Because it's physical, it's mental, it's a whole thing.
I will say that was what Grant was famous for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, like, a lot of high performers in history, what do? I consume biographies all the time.
Yeah.
But it's usually the most successful people, it's like when there was more pressure, they became more calm.
Yeah.
As other people freaked out, these specific people, whether it's fucking Washington or Grant or even Einstein or whatever it is, in a situation that would have broken other people, extreme high pressure, that's when they just like locked in more than everyone else around them, But that's like, they were like that all the time. They were training themselves for that.
That's interesting. I've noticed recently, and I'm not saying I'm by any means anywhere near any of these people you're talking about, but I've noticed recently in situations where I'm nervous or where it's just, I don't know, I guess a moment where your heart rate would start going, or just like you'd get a little flustered or something, I get almost like sleepy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a weird way that my body is actually, like, it's slowing down my heart rate to drop me? Like, it's annoying because I get sleepy. But then it's not bad. I mean, I'm talking about playing a show and doing a horse show.
Yeah.
But both of those things, I literally find myself like, whoa, like, I'm about to go and do this right now? Because I literally feel like I could fall asleep.
Always.
But I think it's dropping my heart rate.
Before we play, I always get super sleepy.
Yeah.
Right before we play.
Yeah,
Every
but I
single
didn't
time.
used to. I used to get like, okay, my heart's beating,
Yeah.
I'm ready, and we're gonna go, and we're gonna do this. Okay, and now I'm just like,
I have to make sure that I'm like hyper focused because I have to plug so many things in.
Yeah.
In such a specific order.
Yeah.
That I have to like make sure I'm not rushing, you know. And I do this every day where I'm just telling myself to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm just over and over and over.
I think is why a lot of people meditate.
Yeah,
I think
of course.
it's a structured way to train your body to do that, which is probably extremely beneficial.
I kept meaning to mention you and I both finished Susie Wolf's book.
Yeah.
Which was so fun.
It was so good.
It was so
good.
good.
It was really fun.
You read it. I listened to it.
Yeah.
So I had the sweet, sweet sound of Susie Wolf's Scottish accent in my ears for fucking 8 hours.
I had it in my
or
head
whatever.
the whole time I was reading it. But
Yeah. But another person who, under pressure,
yeah.
actually became way more stoic. And I bet she doesn't bring it up. I bet she knows a little bit about stoics for sure. Like
Oh yeah.
her vibe on like, okay, the more extreme the pressure got, she actually like thrived.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it, you know, yeah, but super fascinating. Highly recommend, especially to anybody.
Oh my God.
I very much
anybody.
enjoyed it, but I want to get it for like every young woman I know too.
When I was reading it, yes, there's a whole Formula One underlying theme.
Yeah.
But I really never thought about it as a Formula One book.
Right.
At all.
There's racing, but
Yeah.
that just is the vehicle. It's like, but also I really enjoyed the Katharine Graham book. Or I enjoyed.
That one was great.
It like any of these. I'm reading the Mark Twain book right now, and it's like, well, you know, he's a humorist and an author, but it's like Steve Jobs or any of these books, Ben Franklin. I'm like, well, what they did is only like part of the story.
Right.
It's everything else, and I'm like, when I read something, most of the time, there's common threads.
Yeah.
Through all of these people.
Yeah.
Why are they successful? What attributes do they have? And I'm always convinced that like the Beatles or Steve Jobs or, you know, Tiger Woods, most of these figures, they would have been successful in whatever thing they did.
Yeah.
You know, because they have the characteristics of people who are going to be successful. Where they
I thought we talked about this.
They don't give up. They push through. You know, they're the last people standing, or they just like happen to like work harder and longer than other people around them. And it could have been anything, any field. It just so happened that
they fell into this one.
they fell into this one. You know.
Definitely.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I'm pretty pleased.
But the Susie Wolf book, very fun. I want to get it. I think it would be really fun. I want to get it for my sister-in-law Jamie now.
Oh yeah.
And then, so then it's there in the house for Kyrie when she's like 14
Oh, that's
or
a good
something.
idea.
You know, so then it's just there.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a little too much for Kyrie now at 8, 9 years old, but yeah.
That's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's my witching hour.
And we did
I
this-
can feel
we-
it happening.
We did the second half.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a very long one, but I'm going to try and edit it so it works together.
I think it'll be good.
It'll be fun. It's a
I think
different
It'll be good.
different style pod this
Yeah.
time.
Whatever. Thank you, technology.
There ain't
Hopefully
no
we
rules.
can make it work.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Fun. We have a show Friday.
Have a show Friday.
So next time we do this, we'll.
I'm gonna wash my hair tonight.
Oh god.
Really exciting.
All right. I'll try and edit this together.
I love how every time I say I'm gonna wash my hair, you like you have to like psych up for it because I used to wash my hair.
It used to take
blow
hours.
it dry,
Now,
straighten it. Now I just wash it.
now it's dramatically faster.
And I
Yes.
go to bed with wet
Yeah.
hair. So
No, absolutely.
I'm always like, it's not that big of a deal. I will
It's
be
not.
out of the
It
shower
used-
in 10 minutes.
I'm still like, you know, speaking of patterns, like I'm still used to it taking hours.
I know.
Yeah,
I
now-
know.
now it doesn't.
I'm like, no, I wash it every Wednesday now.
Yeah.
Talk about
Ooh,
routine.
routine.
Well, Wednesdays it just gets pretty gross.
Yeah.
That's okay. Anyway, well,
All right. Well,
hey, I'm glad we were able to finish this.
I'm glad we were able to finish it. We don't give up. We push through. We finish things.
Finish it. What was that from? The Fountain? Remember that movie?
With
Rachel Weisz and yeah,
Wolverine. What's his name?
exactly. I don't know. Anyway, good night.
Australian actor. Now it's killing me.
Well,
He's so famous. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh
Hugh Jackman. I'm out.